Okay, we talked about two issues in class, clipping and clicking. So I want to go over what each of those mean. So when we're talking about clipping, we're talking about amplitudes that exceed 1. So right here we have a sine wave. Let's take a listen to this. Nothing special, but you can see in our monitor up here, it goes, we fill up that bar right there. If I were to, reduce this a little bit, to see that we're not getting all the way up to amplitudes of 1, and so there's no clipping going on here. Now, if I go the other way, if I amplify this, you can see now we have this sort of square-like looking wave. And I'm going to pull this guy down here so that we can see what's going on. So you can see we stop at these blue lines here. And so all of this stuff on the edges, this was clipped off. Now, Audacity is very nice to us, so it's not going to clip for us. So what I'm going to do is put a limiter on here, and I'm going to say I want you to hard clip me if I exceed a certain limit. So this is not going to be exceeding amplitudes of 1, but it's going to be exceeding amplitudes of a certain amount, which is going to be the same effect as clipping. And so once we've clipped, what we've done is we've clipped off the curvy points of our sine wave, and so we end up with something sort of like a square wave. And so instead we hear this. So this sounds a bit nicer than what clipping really would sound like, because if we were clipping, this would be even louder. But this is sort of what we do. We go from this nice sine wave, and then we end up with our square lake wave. Okay, so that's what clipping is. There's another issue called clicks, zeroing clicks, and those happen at the beginning and ends of notes. So I'm going to play this sound again and listen to both the beginning and the end of our sine wave. So both at the beginning and the end, we're getting this kind of yucky sound. And if we zoom in on this, we can see every individual sample of our sine wave. And you can see what's happening is that the first sample we play immediately snaps that speaker membrane to a position far away from 1. So what we want to do is envelope this. And these envelopes are going to prevent us from getting these clicks. So this is our ADSR that we were talking about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this envelope here, which is going to give me a bit of a smooth scaling so that I'm starting closer with values closer to 0, and then I ramp up to my full volume. I'm going to do that at the end here as well. I'm just going to fix a point here. And then I'm going to say I want you to sort of fade away. Now if we listen to this, listen. We're not getting that click, that zeroing click. And actually, we're still sort of getting it a little bit. So if we wanted, we could just make this a little bit more gentle. We'll do some, just zoom out a little bit. Do a whole bunch of this. And this gentle fade in and gentle fade out is going to prevent that click. There we go. Sounds much better. So what you want to do in web audio is simulate this ramp up and ramp down with the exponential ramped value at time or the set target at time functions, and those are going to prevent you from getting those zeroing clicks. You want to look out for two things: your zeroing clicks and your clipping.